not going to give her the satisfaction of crying on the show. I was like, Karen, I would talk to myself, I'm like, Karen, hold back your tears, because anything is valid while you're mic'd and while you're being filmed. It's all fair game. Even if you've walked away from the cameras and you walk to the bathroom to cry, if your mic is on and the game, and that's what you sign on for. And I go, Karen, hold on. And I'm a very sentimental person. I said, Karen, hold on, bite your tongue, bite your tongue, bite your tongue. I said, okay, guys, I'm done. I'm leaving. I took my mic off, got my valet ticket, asked for my car, got in the car, and I'm not going to lie to you, the moment I drove off, I just bawled. I got in my car and I had to stop a block away because I couldn't see. I'm not going to lie to you. I think about it, I get sentimental. I cried for about 30 minutes because I couldn't believe how, see, I'm a sentimental person, how mean somebody can be just for airtime. It was so frustrating to me. And I think soon after is when I spoke to that woman, God bless her soul, whoever she is. And she made that realization to me, because I couldn't believe how mean they were for no reason. Just to make me look bad. Like if I was, trying to get invited or tried to show up at every party.
Right.
And I just couldn't believe, how some people will stoop so low for them. And I cried. I literally cried for 30 minutes in the street of downtown Miami, which isn't the safest area. Just cried. And I just couldn't believe it. And I'm like, and I calmed myself down, called my mom, drove home, and cried for about 2 hours after that, because I couldn't. I was the audacity of some people, but yeah.
Who was meaner of the mean girls, Alexia or Adriana?
Oh,
really?
Yeah, hands down.
Alexia.
No argument. Yeah.
And Adriana was one of the mean girls, but not as mean.
You know what? She was one of the mean girls, but after, it was interesting. After we filmed one episode at Thomas Kramer's house, and who was my patient, and things got heated up at Thomas Kramer's house, and I felt really bad at the end of the day for Anna Quincoces, because Thomas was very rude to her, even though it was his house, and you know what, respect his house, but I'm not defending anyone in that episode. But Anna stood up for herself, as well she should, because I'm not standing up for anything that Thomas Kramer would do or say sometimes. When we finished filming that day, we're having a dinner at his house, and the mics get turned off, cameras are stopped rolling, all the producers are packing things up, and I'll never forget, Adriana actually apologized to me. And she goes to me, and I don't know if, you know what, I'm not talking to Bravo, I'm talking to you. So I can say this now. She said, hey, I'm sorry, this and that. I remember she apologized, very sweet. She goes, we just have to step it up if we want another season. And then all of a sudden I realized Adriana really isn't mean, or maybe she's a mean side. Like we all may have mean sides at one time in our life or others. But then I saw another side of Adriana. She was doing it, and that's valid, because she wanted another season out of this. She wanted something more to come out of this, as other businesses can arise from this wonderful show. And she was just stepping up her game for that. But she at least let me know, even after that show, after that episode of filming, aired, or after that event aired. And I was like, I saw her in a different light. And whatever else she could say to me at any other time, I'm getting it. Let's be real. There was a purpose for her doing that. And she let me know it. So I'm like, wow. So I don't see her like that. And whether she's convinced because she hangs out with other girls or whatever, or her thoughts have changed, or whatever the reason being, but she told me that. And so I was like, okay, I get her. I understand it. I'm not going to judge. I'm not going to criticize it. Everyone, I understand her now. So the only person that was ever that vindictive, that malicious, that cold-hearted was Alexia.
Right. And you're basically saying like once Adriana pulled you aside, it was almost like this is why I'm doing this,
Right?
which like to your point,
It's valid.
that's understandable.
Understandable. Understandable.
There's cameras.
You know what? This is not a philanthropic TV show that we're all supposed to be showing love, and I get it.
Right.
But when you're being malicious just to be malicious, then I have a problem with that. It's just bring up your A game and say, hey, let's do this, and then you can say this, and we'll bring it up a little bit, and let me see if I agree to it. And then I can agree to be mean somehow, and let's plot amongst ourselves, but they plotted only amongst their existing friends. And yeah, no. And I was going through a horrible situation with my father. He was being hospitalized, his pacemaker at that time. It was horrible. It was horrible. I had to fly back from Bimini also at another event, and literally had to fly back, emergency.
Wow.
With my father literally almost on his deathbed. Thank God he wasn't. He lasted, I think, 2 or 3 more years, 2 years after that. But
That's
it was
good.
horrible. And one of the episodes, you see me crying and say, look, this is what's important. I'm not focusing on anything else, but that's also you're focusing on is just being petty when my dad is dying and I need to rush home. And I had to get a commercial flight and fly back home, and it was just horrible.
Yeah, that's a lot to go through when you're filming.
Yeah,
And with Alexia, you felt it was all real, like just
yeah, unfortunately.
interesting. Well, I mean, it's so many years later that they, I mean, I'm kind of like you. I'd walk up to anyone years later just to let bygones be bygones.
Bygones be bygones, exactly. And like I said, I came up to her, I was like, hey, Alexia, how are you? Her reaction was just, I was like, okay, have a nice afternoon, nice night, and just kept on with my life. Yeah.
And then you have like an Anna who was like kept out of most of the drama and just.
Yeah. And Anna lives literally about 4 blocks away from me now. And we actually just spoke 2 days ago. I have no problems with Anna, I don't, 0 problems. And she was an accomplished attorney and had a wonderful profession herself. And, we're, like I said, we're not best friends either. We don't hang out every day, but we realized, okay, let's move on. Let's get past this. Let's focus on what's more important. So.
What about like Mama Elsa as someone involved in the show, because I mean, a lot of fans have said things like, it was Mama Elsa's show. I mean, she had a spinoff.
It was. She was loved. She was loved by many people. For whatever reason, she had a magnetic personality. She was funny. She was very funny. So 99% of what came out of her mouth, whether you agreed with it or not, also with that accent, it's like kind of like the Sofia Vergara of the Modern Family. It's that accent is funny. Us as Hispanics, I don't think I have an accent, and